Okay, so in this next video, I'm going to be discussing the global impact that my solution that I discussed earlier might have. Bhutan might, with what Bhutan educates the women more. And also, I'm going to identify countries around the globe that I think that could significantly contribute to achieving these millennial development goals. I've been talking about 3, 4, and 5 in my country and the surrounding region. Um, okay, so I think that the global impact of women getting upper education, it would definitely contribute to the flat world and globalization. I talked about this a little bit before, but it will definitely help Bhutan in its globalization. So one way is that women will be inspired by their mother's education. They will not only be able to be raised by a educated woman, but they will have her as an example of, like, have her as an example of, well, my mother went to school, I'm going to go to school. I've seen what impacted me in her life. Um, Another thing is that they will be able to actually learn from the knowledge she's gained, the life experience that she's gained. So they will definitely benefit from her education. Um, Another thing is women in surrounding areas may want and seek upper level education. So the regions surrounding Bhutan, they all have very similar cultures, very similar situations. There's a lot of ruralness and rural poverty. Um, so when women in the surrounding areas are seeing that women of Bhutan are getting education and succeeding and getting out of that, they are going to be like, hey, you know what? If they can do it, I can do it too. We're in similar situations. We have similar beliefs. We can do this. Um, and then also, the last one I have is the woman will be able to have a raised income. Um, so when a woman is educated, she's going to get a career and she's working. She is going to have her own income and she's not going to have to depend on a man. Um, so she will be able to provide for herself and her children if needed. And that's going to definitely affect the poverty rates because the people that are most affected by poverty are women and children. So if a woman can provide for herself and her children, then that's gonna eliminate a lot of poverty. So countries I think that could help because of this is I think one of the biggest countries would be India. India and Bhutan have a close relationship because of their similarities in culture and religion. So they are pretty close knit. Other countries that are close in this region and close in religion and culture are Tibet and Nepal. I think that if these areas were able to raise awareness and educate women, then Bhutan may try to raise awareness. But since Bhutan is such a isolated country, maybe not. Um, so I think that maybe a country that's a strong country, maybe a country like England, who's had a really big influence in South Asia. They've had big influence in Bhutan and India, and those countries. That maybe they could help for maybe financial or just to get things started. Bhutan is a very isolated country, um, and they definitely take pride in that they have a very strong culture, um, and that also they have a very happy people. So I think they could do it on their own. They have a pretty strong government from what I've seen, and there's just a few things they need to work on. So I think that it's definitely in reach for them, and that if they do this, the global impact will. I think it'll have a great global impact. Bhutan's not a very well-known country, but once it works itself up, I think that it definitely has great potential. That is the global impact.